Welcome everybody. It is Tuesday night and I hope everybody is ready for some fun card making tonight. If you're new to my Facebook page, my name is Julie Brown. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and I'd like to welcome you. If you'd like to talk to me during this, obviously I can't see you and it's not like Zoom. So you need to type in the comments, let me know you're here, and then if you have any questions, type those in the comments as well. So I'm going to get some housekeeping out of the way while we're waiting for people to get on tonight, and then we will get started. So first off, for those of you that are going to plan on ordering with me this month, that is the hostess code. And you can order through me at juliebrown.stampinup.net. You can also email me at juliescreativestampin@gmail.com. You can also check out my Pinterest, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram pages at Julie's Creative Stamping. Now, Instagram, I'm just getting started on, so there's not a lot on there. So be patient with me as I learn how to navigate Instagram. And then, most importantly, if you check out my blog, stampinjuliebrown.blogspot.com, any cards that I make are actually posted on there eventually. I am running a little behind this month, but eventually I will have them all on there with instructions. So there you go. Hey Mel, good to see you. All right, so what am I going to be using tonight? Tonight I'm going to be using the Flowering Tulips Bundle, the Flowering Fields Designer Series paper. So if you ever see DSP, whether it's me or some other Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, that means Designer Series paper. And then I'm going to be using the polished dot embellishments. And I'll also be using the Stitch So Sweetly dies. Now, I had a special going this month. One of the new things that I'm going to be doing is I am going to be doing a suite of the month. And what that entails is if you order that suite through me, I have designed 10 cards to go with the suites, and you will get a PDF with instructions on how to make all 10 cards. And unfortunately, this month it is the Flowering Field Suite, but it is already not orderable, which just happened like yesterday. And that's because the windmill dies are not available. But you can order all of the other pieces of the suite. And so if you do that and you do that through me, and you at least order one of the bundles that's in the suite. And here, let me just show you what the suite entails here really quick. And then you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. So this is the suite. And this is a pretty big suite because it came with 2 stamp sets, the ribbon, the embellishment, and the Designer Series paper. So all of it is still available except for the dies that go along with the Tulip Fields bundle. But if you order everything else, I will still do the free PDF with 10 designs. And then I believe I just looked at it and it's going to be available sometime in March to get these dies. And so next week I was actually going to show you the Tulip Fields, but I'm going to wait now until everything's available. And then, so I'm going to be designing something else for next Tuesday. Anyway, this is a really fun suite, but we're going to be working with this part of the suite tonight, which is the Flowering Tulips Bundle. So this part of the suite includes the Polymer Flowering Tulips stamp set. And these are like the 2-step stamps where you're going to stamp and, but what's nice, and I don't know if you guys have ever noticed this before, but in this one particularly, if you ever look at your stamps and you don't know how they go together, in the pictures, it shows you. So like these 2 go together, these 2 go together to form a flower, and these 2 go together to form a flower. So yeah, so if you're ever in wonder, hey Shanine, hey Susie, hey Janet. So if you guys ever get confused about these 2-step stamps, they usually do put them together or close to each other on the front of the stamp set to kind of show you how they go together. Now we're not going to be stamping these tonight, and I may go ahead and show you a card with these stamping these next week, or I may just show you one I've already made to show you what they look like. But I am going to be using some of the I thought I was. Oh my gosh, I used something different. Now I have to figure out. Oh no, I did. I used this one. I confused myself. And then these are the dies that go with this. Again, there is kind of a learning curve with these dies. So I'm actually going to be making one of each of the flowers, the detailed flowers, just so you guys can see how it all goes together. So tonight I will be going step by step through everything, just because I think it's important for you guys to learn how to put these flowers together. So one of the things that I wanted to do is on the designer series paper, I just want to show you this. I really love this paper, but as you can see, it kind of is like a watercolored. And so what I'm going to be doing with the dies that we're cutting out tonight is I'm going to be trying to mirror this look. Now it's not exact and it's going to be a lot softer of a look, but I'm going to try to show you how you can kind of copy this designer series paper with the tulips that we're going to be making. Yay, right? Fun. All right, so let's get started because we have a lot of cutting to do. And I'm actually going to bring in the baby tonight, the mini Stampin' Cut machine. You can't use this on all of the dies, but on these particular dies, I can get them all cut on this. So I don't think I've ever used it in one of my lives, and so I'm excited to use it tonight. So you guys can see it in action. All right, so let me move this out of the side because I want to show you. So we have, when you're making the tulips, there's 3 different styles of tulip. And I'm going to just pull them all out and pull all the pieces out that we need. Okay, so that's what we need for the tulips. And so basically for this tulip, you need one of these, one of these, and one of these. And then for this tulip, you need one of these, one of these, and one of these. And for the little tulip, you just need one of these and one of these. I know that just sounds crazy, but I'm going to show you how it all goes together. So let's do that one first. I got to find the right paper here. I believe it's this piece that we're going to be using. And so I'm using Poppy Parade. So I'm gonna leave these over here so you can kind of see what I'm doing. See if I can get it all in. That's kind of why I wanted to use the little one, so you guys could see the pieces as well. So this is like one of the bigger tulips, and so I'm going to cut one of those, and then this middle piece, and then one of the little like inside bud pieces. So let's run this through. And like I said, normally I have this stuff all cut for you guys ahead of time, but I wanted to show you how these tulips go together. And I know like some people are kind of on the fence whether they want this set or not. And so I'm just here tonight to try to show you what it does to help you make that decision on, do you want it, do you not want it? Now I don't know if you can see that, but it does kind of, can you see the embossed? See, it also kind of embosses a design on there, which is kind of cool. And it does that on all 3 pieces. Okay, so just so I can show you, so there's that piece, there's that piece, and there's that piece. All right, so the next one that I'm going to do, I'm going to have to pull this piece in again, and I'm going to do this in petal pink. So I'm going to cut one of these, and then this piece again, one of these, and one of these. It's kind of cool that they have 3 of these. Now they only have 2 of this piece, but I think it's because this flower you could actually put together without this big centerpiece, but I like it in there. So I think that's why they didn't give us 2 of those particular pieces, because this flower can be built with or without it. And I'll show you that in just a second. All right. So again, I'm just going to kind of set these out so you can see them and see what we did. And remember, this piece is being used twice. So this piece looks like that. Obviously, this one's going to look the same, except a different color. That's that piece. And then this is that piece. Okay, then we're going to do this piece here. Now, while I'm doing this, I'm actually going to also cut out a layering circle die that I'm going to be using later. If I can find my layering circle dies. I didn't pull those out. Okay, I'm just gonna, yeah. Okay, so I've got this piece of white. And so you can see how handy this little baby cutter, I love it. One, because it's just so cute. And then two, it's just, you know, especially like when I'm doing these demonstrations, it doesn't take up the whole screen. So it works really good for this. All right, so I will be stamping something in there. And normally I would stamp that first. You know what? I'm going to do that. Sorry. Let me pause. I want to go ahead and stamp that first just so that I get it right. And so I'm going to pull in some Pool Party. See, when I talk myself through it, I'm like, yeah, maybe I ought to go ahead and stamp that while I've got it out. All right, so let me just pull a block over here. And we're just going to ink this up with some Pool Party ink. So I hope everyone's had a good week and everyone's doing good. And just so you guys may not know this about me, but tulips are my favorite flower. All-time favorite flower, tulips. So when I saw this set, I obviously had to have it. Not that, you know, I need another flower stamp set, but, you know, face it, we're all hoarders, right? So I think I have come to accept that I am a Stampin' Up hoarder. Who can join me in that, right? Stampin' Up hoarder, here we come. But tulips, again, I love tulips. It's on my bucket list to go to Holland and walk around where all the tulips are. I would just love to do that. And so that's kind of on my bucket list of things that I want to do. So eventually, hopefully, I will get there. Oh, so Susie, you're working on your January swap. So for those of you that don't know what swaps are, I have a team of demonstrators. And when you're part of my team, what we do is every month we do what's called a card swap. And the card swap is I kind of give my team a challenge, and I tell them kind of what the theme is. So like last month we did in December. Oh, you know what? I'm lost. I don't remember when it was, but we did 3D challenges where we all had to make either a card or a 3D project. And then this month it is casing the catalog. And so what that means is all of my team has to look at the catalog and either copy exactly or look at it and make a card based on what's in the catalog. And then we all trade cards. And it's a lot of fun because we get a bunch of ideas on making cards and different ways of looking at stamp sets. So it's tons of fun. So anyway, that's what Susie's working on right now, is her swap. Okay, so does this make sense to you guys? Can you see this? How this is how it cuts out. So this one, you have to add this one. This biggest one takes all three. This one takes these three. And this one takes these two. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. And so I'm going to pick all of these up, and then we're going to kind of start building. I'm just going to kind of throw them on my magnetic plate. And then before I before we get done, I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna do all my die cutting. So this is a piece of Pear Pizzazz. And what I'm gonna do with this is I'm gonna cut out these solid leaves for this one. And I'm gonna cut out this really long, thin stem. It has two stems. I don't know if you can see this. So it has two stems. One's a little thicker, but I'm using the thinner of the two stems. And so I'm going to cut out this, and then I'm going to cut out another stem and another small leaf. So again, like I said, normally when you guys join me, I have all of this pre-cut so it goes together really fast. But I didn't do that tonight. So see how that's really thin. That's a little tiny thin. All right, so I'm gonna do one more of those and one more of the smaller of the leaves to create this fun card. And then I have one more die cut, and that is going to be, I'm bringing in the Stitch So Sweetly set. And again, if you're new to Stampin' Up and you and it's something that you think you want to get into, one of the things I always advise everybody is to get a set of dies like these, where it helps you, like these are labels and these are decorative. And so it just makes your card look a little bit better instead of just like cutting a square or a rectangle. And so one of my favorites is the Stitch So Sweetly dies. I love these dies, and I also love the Stitched Rectangle dies, which they're all rectangle and they don't have the fun shape, but they do have the stitching. Again, that's another one of my I don't want to call it a guilty pleasure, but I love all of our stitched dies. Any of the stitched dies I love. And then as you saw, the like I also use those layering circle dies. This is another good set to have. And it has two sides to this. Because again, you can see how that just made that little sentiment look that much more special. So if you're ever like wanting to get into Stampin' Up or getting into card making and you just don't know what to buy, those are good staple things that you're going to use a ton. Okay, so this is that Stitched Rectangle die. And again, I'm going to bring it in. Oh, isn't this little mini Stampin' Cut? This machine is so cute. So cute. I love it. And again, don't forget, for those of you that are thinking of placing orders, this is the last month for the celebration where you can get free products with minimum orders. So if you do a $50 order, for every $50 you spend, there are free stamp sets, free paper, free sentiment stamps, all sorts of fun free stuff. But that ends this month, so don't forget that. I don't want you guys being all sad when you think, oh, I wanted to get that. Alrighty. Okay, so I think I have all of my pieces cut. And so I'm going to kind of show you what I did first to try to mirror, where's that piece of paper? To try to mirror this paper. So I am going to be bringing in my sponge dauber, and I'm going to be using, and we have to be a little bit careful, and you have to give it a little time to dry, because this is our Whisper White Stampin' Pad, and this is like a pigment ink. And what that means is anytime you're using a pigment ink, it's a really wet ink, and it takes a little time to dry. All right. So I'm going to bring in a silicone mat so I don't get my workspace dirty. And then what I'm going to do is I am just going to ink it up like so. And then I'm just going to very gently start to, I'm trying to think. I got to remember how this closes. Hold on. Yeah, okay. So that's how it's going to close. And so I want this white over here on this part. And do you see what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to mirror. So look at this. I'm trying to mirror these Poppy Parade flowers that have that white on there. Now you can go as light or as dark as you want. And I always obviously start lighter and then I'll go a little bit darker. I'm not worried about this part of the flower because when I build my flower, we're not even going to see that. But for this middle part, we are going to see some of this. So again, I'm just going to give it some of that, just a touch of that white, just to kind of mirror what those flowers look like. And then this is that centerpiece. And so again, I'm just going to kind of do one side of it. All right. And then I'm going to set those aside to dry for just a little bit. And then I'm going to bring this one in and I'm going to do the same thing. Now this one, I don't know if you guys noticed, it's really thin right down here. So you want to be a lot more careful when you're like inking this up. So this one folds like so to make the tulip. And so see, I already like bent that. And so it's already like compromised. But I'm going to go ahead and just add some of that Whisper White. And then we're going to try to do it over here as well. All right. And then we're going to add this to the center. So I'm going to be working with this because I'm not going to wait. You could use a heat tool to help this to dry a little quicker. But I'm not going to do that tonight because of the noise. But so my hands may get a little bit white. And then here's that centerpiece. Now I'm going to try something a little bit different on the white piece. I'm not sure if this is going to work, so you guys are like right here with me as I'm trying this. Because if you look at the white ones on here, you can kind of see the pull party through it. Can you guys see that? So you can kind of see that the pull party is bleeding through a little bit. Okay, and again, I think this is the one that's a little bit tricky. Okay, so it's these two ends. So I want to be real gentle here and see if I can be really light-handed. We'll see. And just bring in maybe like even just on like the edges, just a little bit on the edges, just to kind of give it a little bit of a pop. I'm not even sure if that picked up any pull party, because I don't want to be real heavy with it, but I do want it to kind of have that same look. So let me see if I can. This is my first time trying this, so I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's just barely got a little bit of color. And I may even do a little bit more real light here in the middle, just to kind of give it that extra little oomph. I don't know what other word to use on that one. Okay, so we're going to kind of get the top of this as well. And I said, you know, and you can see I'm not doing it really dark. I'm just trying to put a hint of color on there. Alrighty, so let's build some tulips. Oh, wait, sorry, one more thing I forgot. I'm going to go ahead and actually color these leaves, or not color them, but I am going to color in, or I call it kind of chalking. I'm going to bring in Evening Evergreen, and I am going to chalk around the edges. And I could make it, see how this has like the greener up here? Maybe I'll do that. Let's see if that'll work. If I can get it without it looking like horribly bad. Yeah, so see how we're making that kind of blend. And then I'm going to go ahead and chalk around this as well. I forgot I had just re-inked that, and so that's why it's so dark. And so again, I'm just going to try to be a little lighter handed on this one than I was on that first one. And it's just all about kind of bringing in, you know, a textural color, and it, you know, it just makes things pop a little bit more. Let's see, you know, we'll do the same side. I got to think as I go here. You guys are seeing my creative mind at work. That could be scary, right? Okay, so what I was trying to do is kind of mirror the fact that these leaves had darker and lighter shading on it. All right. We'll see if we like it. Okay, so I'm just going to move this to the side. I'll clean that silicone mat off later because you can just clean it with a baby wipe and it cleans it really well. Alrighty. So now what I want to do is I want to, before I put this on the card front, I'm going to mat this one onto a piece of Poppy Parade. I don't use Poppy Parade very much, and I had a really fun time using it with this. Oh, this is another thing I wanted to show you. A lot of people have been struggling a little bit with the Stampin' Seal Plus. And I have found, and I forget which demonstrator, I think it might have been Patty Bennett, came up with this using the silicone mat underneath your paper, and it actually helps it. I don't know why, but it just helps it to flow better. And it runs better on the paper. Have no clue why, but it seems to work. She was talking about this on a training that I was on. And then I saw her do it again on a video that she did, and it works. So good on Patty for giving us that little tip, so I could pass it on to you guys. Okay, so we're just going to mat that like so, and then I'm going to go ahead and put this on the card front so that I can build my my tulips. All right, so we've got our whisper white, basic white. I'm still used to saying whisper white, and we haven't had that for a while. All right, so I'm going to bring that silicone mat back in and just run that. And like I said, it just seems to be a little bit smoother and run a little bit smoother. So it really does work. So who knew? Right? Okay, here we go. So then we're just going to apply this here. All right. Then we're going to bring in that really fun, see why I like these? Let me bring that closer so you can see. This is why I like these, because instead of just doing a rectangle, I now have a scalloped edge with stitching. With, like I said earlier, anything with stitching is like my favorite die. I love the stitching around the dies. I don't know, how many of you used to, like when you were making cards or scrapbooking, used to try to draw in the stitching? Yeah, raise your hand or say yes, me. Because that's something that I used to do, and I was not very good at it. So I love these dies that have the stitching on them already. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to kind of build this front, and I'm going to use my silicone mat down here because I'm going to be like gluing, and so I don't want to get the glue where I might set the card. Yeah, Mel, right? Had to draw in the stitching. So I love that this stitching's already there. Anyone who has ever drawn in the stitching understands why we love this so much. All right. So I am going to take one of these and I'm going to be I think one of these I'm going to go ahead and cut in half. And I may even, actually I think I'm going to cut it not quite in half. I need a small piece and then a medium piece. And then I don't even think I'm going to need this whole piece this long. So let me just kind of do my dry, I call this my dry runs when I set these things down like this. So basically I want to see the bottom, but I want my tulips to kind of be like right there. All right, so I'm going to cut, I think it's this edge I want to cut because I want this pretty edge to show. All right. Oh, hi, Shanine, you're back. Yay. All right, so if you guys haven't seen these, Elisa Curcio showed these to me. She got them on Amazon. And basically what I have done is I have just filled it with one of our liquid glues because it just gives it a finer tip. And it just makes it a little easier. So these are really cool. You guys can thank Lisa for that information because she's the one that showed it to me. But it just makes it so that you get this nice thin line on when you're gluing things, which is like so perfect for what I'm doing right here. Okay, so I think I want this one here. Oh, I think I wanted those leaves behind that. Whoopsie. Okay, we'll fix it. Okay, so I think I wanted, yeah. See, I got ahead of myself. That's all right. That's the nice thing about the liquid glue is you can kind of pull it up a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this one down. Now this one I'm going to use the regular liquid glue because I want a little bit more glue on that. Alrighty. So I think I kind of want that to line up like so. Okay, and then I want a petal to be here, but I'm going to put a stem behind that one. And then this can fit, yeah, that fits right there. So that'll be perfect. Doo-doo-doo. I love it when a plan works. Alrighty. And I already see that I don't have some ribbon over here that I'm going to need, so I may have to run out. Not really run out, just run over to my ribbon wall in just a second. But let me just get get all of these pieces on so you can see how I'm building this to build these tulips. All right, so this is going to go like this. So this one is going to come up kind of, yeah, I think I want it a little bit lower, and that stem will come up there. And then this leaf is going to be here. So I'm glad you're back joining us, Shanine. I hope you didn't tell your company that they had to leave. Because you needed to come play with us tonight. Let's see. I think I want this. Yeah, I didn't want that. I'm going to move that over just a bit. Another good thing about the liquid glue is it gives you, again, some wiggle room. So we're going to do that like so. I think this is the hardest part, is just trying to figure out how to get all of these pieces on. And then I want that to kind of overlap that, but I can already tell this is a little bit longer than I wanted, so I'm not going to put the glue all the way to the top on this one. But I do want this, see, I wanted the I don't know if I'll bring it up closer in just a second. But I wanted this crisscross down here at the bottom. I don't know if you guys can see that. So, all right. So now I think we are ready to build some tulips. Yay! Okay, so this is the first one. Now you can use mini glue dots, whatever you like the best. The mini glue dots will make this go much faster, but I just kind of like the fact that if I use the liquid glue, it's going to be a little more solid in staying together. Okay, so what we're going to do, and this is where it gets, and I'm going to, let's see if I can bring you in a little closer. I'll move this up so you can see what I'm doing. So again, you have to do kind of a dry run so that you know what it's going to look like. So what happens is, like, that piece goes there, and then this piece goes down in there. And so the easiest way that I have found to do this is to go ahead and get this piece in, but I'm only going to put glue at the bottom of this piece. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue there. And then I'm going to bring that in here. And the reason that I don't want to glue the whole thing down is and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I may want to stick a bone folder in here to give this a little more dimension once I get it all together. Then I'm going to take this piece, and again, I'm just going to kind of go halfway up with the glue. And then that's going to stick down like so. All right. And then I want this piece, this left piece down first, and then this piece. And so I'm just going to run a little bit of glue down this front edge here. And the reason that a lot of people like to put these together with glue dots is because once you stick it, it's stuck. Whereas this, I have to hold it for just a little bit, right? But I'm not ready to put this on the card front, so I can set this to the side. But isn't that cute? Look at that. Fun. Whoop, whoop. Okay, so now let's bring in the petal pink one. So again, this folds like so. And this is the one I was going to show you. So you can use it with this piece. And it looks like, hold on. And it looks like this, which is what I'm fixing to do. Or you don't have to have that middle piece. You could just put it in like that. So I think that's why we didn't get 2 of these. Oh, all right. That's okay. You guys can go. For those of you that had to like pop out and come back in. Because you'll definitely want to watch the replay if you missed me on the cutting of these, because you definitely want that. So again, I am going to put the glue right at the bottom. And you guys can see how if you used mini glue dots, you could just like stick this all together and you'd be done. Boom, boom, boom. But again, I like the mini glue dots and they will work just fine. But for what I'm fixing to do, I kind of felt like I needed the liquid glue. Okay, so then this is going to push down behind that. Okay, so again, with this one, I'm going to run a little bit of glue right there and then glue right on that edge right there. And then I'm just going to close that. And I'm going to hold it for just a hot second. All right, and so then that's that one. So here's the 2 we've done. Oh, whoop, let me move them down here. Aren't they cute? Okay, so then this is the one that I kind of highlighted with the pool party. And this one is kind of funny because when you first look at it, you sometimes think that this is the way that you should do it, but it's actually this way. Even though this is kind of upside down, this is the way it goes together. So again, we're just going to take this one little piece here and put some liquid glue. And you guys can see I don't use a ton of liquid glue. And we're just going to get that down. And then I'm going to kind of look at where they connect, and it's really like right on this edge over here. So I'm going to put most of my glue like over here, so that, and I'm not going to put like any glue on this side because this will hold it in place. To make our little bud. What do you think? Cute. Okay. So now this is what I was talking about on, if you want to give these a little bit more dimension, you can take a bone folder or something else and you can just kind of like squeeze it in there and turn this, you know, where you don't have the glue. And it just makes it kind of, I don't know if you guys can see that, but see how it gives it kind of some dimension when you do that? So that's just kind of a fun little tip, is I just kind of take my bone folder and come in, and that's why I only put glue at the bottom. And then remember how I didn't put glue on that side, because again, I want that to kind of give some dimension. Now this one I did glue down all the way, but you can still give it a little bit of dimension by just barely putting a bone folder down in there, and it will kind of pop up the top of that just a bit. So just a little tip. All right. So now I want these to dry a little bit more, so I'm going to move those to the side. And I am going to work on the inside of the card really quick, because this is a thank you card. And when I do thank you cards, I do not usually stamp a sentiment on the inside. So the inside of this is going to be pretty simple. It's that same designer series paper. And I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive on this and put that in there. Now, obviously, if you guys want to put a sentiment, you can, but I like to do thank you cards so that I can write a personal note for when I'm thanking somebody. That's just me. That's just my preference. Oh, I got that off a little bit. I think it'll be okay. Maybe not. Let me see if I can. The Stampin' Seal Plus is hard to pull back up and fix once you put it down. Okay, and so I'm just going to then mat that on a piece of Poppy Parade. So yeah, so let's see how many of you like to stamp sentiments in your thank you cards, and how many of you prefer to leave them blank so that you can write your own note in it. So blank or stamped? So you guys let me know in your comments. Either type in blank or stamped. All right. So then I'm just going to take this and I'm going to flip that over. And we are going to then put that on the inside of the card. Okay, Susie says both. Let's see. Mel says leave them blank. Shanine says blank. Yeah, me too. And there are times where I do put sentiments in it too, but for the most part, I do like to leave them blank, just so I can write my own note. Or maybe I'm just being, so Janet, you like a little stamped. Okay. That works too. Okay, so let's finish the front of this. Before I do that, let me run and snip this Pool Party ribbon that I need really quick. Sorry about that. So this is that sheer Pool Party ribbon, and you guys are going to get to see me use my bow maker. So for those of you that have never seen this, the first time you ever place an order with me, I send you one of my little bow makers. And so this is how you use it. So I'm going to go slow because everybody who's gotten one of these always forgets how to use them. So it makes 2 sizes, but for the little size, you need to be working with the 2 small legs. But you always start, if you're doing the bigger one, you're going to start with it way down here. But because I'm making a little bow, I'm going to start with it just barely below here. So I am going to come around both legs. Let me get this out of the background so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, around both legs. And then I am going to go through this little top space right there above the ribbon. Well, maybe. How come every time I demonstrate this, it doesn't want to go through the top? Okay, so I went through the top. I am going to wrap it around the bottom. Hold it here. Grab this side over here and tie my knot. All right, I hope that I am demonstrating this enough that you guys are getting to where you are learning how to use this ribbon maker. Or little ribbon maker. It doesn't make ribbons, it makes bows. But see, it's like a perfect bow every time. Yay! Alrighty. Okay, so now let's get back to this. So I want to go ahead and put my little white one first. And it is going to be glued directly down. So let's get the glue on the back of this one. And you guys see me use this liquid glue a lot. It really is, besides like the Stampin' Seal Plus, because it puts, you know, these types of pieces down quickly. This is probably one of my favorite adhesives that I use. Oh, I think I needed that a little bit higher. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that's going to go there. Then I am going to take this one and I am going to bring in some mini glue dots, if I can find them. Here we go. Not mini glue dots, mini Stampin' Dimensionals. Oh my gosh. But now this is where you have to kind of pay attention to your card, because I want this flower to be here, but this is kind of like already lifted a little bit. So I want to make sure that when I put my dimensional, I put them here and over here, so that I'm not putting them to where they're going to be sitting on these two pieces here. Did that make sense? I hope that made sense. I don't always know if I make sense. All right, so I want to put it like right there, and then one there, and then one kind of like in the middle. And I am kind of placing them pretty close to each other because I'm trying not to touch the leaf or the stem with the dimensionals. Okay, so we're going to stick that like so. And I am trying to keep it like in where the matting is and stuff. It doesn't have to be all on this blue piece, but I don't want it like overhanging the white. I should have probably moved this a little bit more to the left, but I didn't, so now I'm dealing with it. Okay, so then this one's going to go there. Again, I'm going to put all my dimensionals towards the top. So we're going to pull those off, and then that will fit like so. Alrighty, and then I'm going to bring in, remember this that we stamped and cut out? And this is just going to go down with liquid glue. And it is just going to sit, again, I want it to not go outside the frame, the mat, I should say the mat. So it is just going to sit right there. And then I'm going to bring in a glue dot, and we're going to put our little bow right here. So it's going to go, that's kind of why I wanted these to crisscross, because they're going to show below the bow because of where I'm putting the bow. All right, so see how they show out from underneath that bow? Cute, right? And then I'm going to trim the bow. so that it's not quite so long. All right. And then this suite has these really cute brushed butterflies that I have used on, like, I made 10 cards with this suite. And I've used a ton of these. And we're going to be using, this is the suite we're using for our card class this week. So that's exciting. But for this one, I wanted to bring in these polished dots that are part of the, I believe it's the Fortune of, oh shoot, Crane of Fortune suite. I don't think that's exactly what it's called, but some such thing. Because I really like that these were petal pink. And so I'm just going to use my take a pick tool, and we're going to pick up one big and two small of these, and we're just going to pop those in right there. Again, just to give it a little added oomph. Okay. Now, I'm not sure. I think we probably could have put these a little bit closer or this a little bit higher. I'm not sure which, but still pretty cute. What do you guys think? Do you like it? And aren't these tulips adorable? But it really wasn't that hard to build the tulips. And like I said, I tried to mirror this, and you could have made this a lot whiter to give it more of, because, see how this is a little bit darker here? So you could have put a little more white on this than I did, but I didn't want to do that. And then, I do kind of like the pool party there, because that's kind of mirroring this that has kind of the blue or pool party showing through. So there's our card. And then there's the inside. So fun, right? Fun. So that's part of that suite. And again, for those of you that missed it, I'm starting a new thing where I'm trying to do a suite of the month where I give you guys something special if you purchase it. Unfortunately, this suite, because part of the suite, which is the windmill dies, is not available right now. But if you buy most of the suite through me, I'll still I'm giving a free PDF with 10 cards that I have designed from the suite. And so you'll get this card. And there's again, 10 other cards. But the suite includes all of this. And so it's these dies that are out right now. But you get the designer series paper, you get this really fun evergreen ribbon, you get the flowering tulips, you get the brushed butterflies, and it just makes some really cute cards. So I'm going to give you kind of a sneak peek of one of the cards that I made with the other half, because I love it and I think it's really cute. But this would be one of the PDFs that you get, is this card here. And look at that. The windmill moves. Oh my gosh. Is that awesome? Unfortunately, these are the dies that are gone right now, but they will be back in March 7th. So definitely put it on your wish list, because this is just, guys, I am telling you, I sat down to design 10 cards with this suite. And it happened so fast. I mean, the creativity I went crazy with the creativity. So it's a really easy suite to design with. And I had a ton of fun. But yeah, so look. So much fun. And it's such a cute, I'm doing it wrong. Wait, see, I'm so bad at the camera thing. There we go. All right, so I know the windmill's pretty cool. But again, those dies are gone right now. When I decided to make that the suite of the month, I did not realize that it was already not orderable, because the dies sold out so fast. But also, I think it's the Crane of Fortune suite is the other suite that is in either low inventory. I think it's low inventory. So that suite is fixing to to be gone as well for a little while. Not gone forever, but just for a little while. With all the shipping mess, it's just so hard for Stampin' Up! To keep things in. Anyway, I hope you guys love this card tonight. I had so much fun designing it. I hope it gave you a look at how to create these really fun tulips. And again, you know what? I'm going to show you one more quick card. I probably shouldn't show you all these cards that I've made, right? So hold on. I'm going to show you one more card because I do want to show you, I didn't stamp anything tonight, but I do want to show you, a card made with the two-step stamping and the little butterflies. So that's what the stamps look like. So cute. You can only see it really quick because that's one of the cards that's going to be in the PDF that you're going to get if you order that suite from me. And I may just open it up to, if you order any suite from me, that's the PDF that you will get this month. So any suite that's in the mini catalog, if you order that this month from me, I will include a PDF with these cards, with the 10 cards made from the Flowering Field Suite that you can make later. So anyway, guys, I appreciate you all being here. I hope you enjoyed the cards, or the card that I did, but the other two that I kind of did a sneak peek with you and showed you. And anyway, some of you I will see at my card class this week. I am starting a new thing. I am starting an online card class where you can either buy the stamp set that goes along with the card class or not. If you buy the stamp set, no issue. But if you don't buy the stamp set, then I will send you instructions with the card kits to tell you what type of stamp set that you might use that you have at home. And I would, anything, if they do come with dies, or if there is a die like this, for instance, we're doing the windmill one this month on my online class. And so I will cut those windmills and they will be in there. You just have to use a different stamp set if you don't want to purchase that stamp set. But that's something that I'm going to be starting. So if it's something that you would be interested in being part of that online class, let me know. And I'll put you on my list to get card kits sent out to you. And then what I do is I do a Zoom class where we all sit together on Zoom and we get to stamp together. Yay, so much fun. So anyway, guys, if that's something that you think you would be interested in, let me know. I'm doing my first one this month, so it's kind of a trial. So I've got two ladies, Shanine's one of them, that's going to be helping me out with this to see how it goes this month. But then next, I'll be doing these every single month. So if it's something you think you might have fun doing, you can let me know. And even if you don't live in the Farmington area, I will mail you the card kits with any of the dies. And then again, you can either purchase the stamp set that goes along with what I'm doing, or you can, I put instructions in there to say, hey, you want this kind of stamp set. You need a flower stamp set with medium flowers with this or that. So just to let you know. So anyway, guys, have a good evening. I'll see some of you this week at class and some of you on my Zoom class later. But I appreciate your time as always. Please don't forget to follow me. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And thumbs up, hearts, likes, all of that good stuff. So I appreciate all of you so much. And everybody, if I don't see you till next Tuesday, I'll see you next Tuesday. Talk to you soon. Bye.